Hello everybody, Train Spotter 155 here. Today I've travelled all the way to Dewsbury. We'll be seeing services from Northern and Transpan Express. We'll get lucky if we see any freights. But until then, let's see what train will arrive and depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 158 going to Leeds. We'll see if this train goes when it departs. Passing through. Is a 802 going to Liverpool. Let's see where else will arrive and depart next. Train now departing is a 158 going to Leeds. Let's see who else will arrive and depart next on this station. Right, train now arriving in is a Transpan Express 185. Going to Redcar Central. This train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 185 going to Redcar Central. Let's see what else will arrive and depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 185 Transpan Express to Manchester Airport. Let's see this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 185 going to Manchester Airport. Let's see where else will arrive at the part next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Leeds. We'll see how this train goes when it departs. Almost caught me off guard there. Right there was a passing 802 going to Newcastle, and that service is late by 20 minutes. Let's wait for this train to depart. Right, the next train to show up looks like a northern service. It's a 150, a free coach. And we'll see this train departs. Train now departing is a 150 going to, I think, to Leeds. Nope, I was wrong. Huddersfield. Leeds the other way. Why I say that? So there's 150 going to Huddersfield. And we're still waiting for this Transpan Express train to depart going to Leeds. Oh, out of the blue! Okay, the train that just passed through now is a double 185 going to Hull. And with any luck, this train can now depart when that signal goes green. Train now departing is a 185 going to Leeds. Let's see where else will arrive at the part next on this station. Right, next train to pass through is a 185. And this train's going to Liverpool. Let's see where else will arrive at the part next on this station.
Leeds,
train now arriving in is a 185 going to Scarborough.
First class accommodation can be found in Zone 4, standard class in Zones 2 and 3, cycle spaces in Zone 2, wheelchairs in Zone
4. We'll see this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 185 going to Scarborough.
To arrive at platform 2 will be the
Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station.
Service to Manchester Victoria.
Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Manchester Victoria.
Found in zone 4 standard class in zones 3 and 2. Cycle spaces in zone 2. Wheelchair facilities in zone 4.
We'll see this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 185 going to Manchester Victoria. Let's see what else will arrive to part next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 158 going to Wigan Moorgate. We'll see this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is 158 going to Wigan Moorgate. Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station. Train now zooming past. There's a 802 going to Liverpool Lime Street. The train now arriving in is a double 158 going to Leeds. We'll see this train goes when it departs. Our next train to pass through is an 802 going to Newcastle. Still waiting for this train to depart. No, that train's gone. Train now departing is a double 158 going to Leeds. Let's see what else will arrive and depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 1185 going to Manchester Airport. See, this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 1185 going to Manchester Airport. Let's see what else will arrive and depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 1185 going to Redcar Central. This train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 1185 going to Redcar Central. Let's see what else will arrive and depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Huddersfield. This train goes when it departs. Train now departing is 185 going to Huddersfield. Let's see what else will arrive to depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 150 going to Leeds. See this train goes when it departs. Train now departing is a 150 going to Leeds. Same time we've got a 185 going to Liverpool. Let's see where else will arrive and depart next on this station. Okay, the next train that's slowly going past is an 802 going to Hull. See, let's see what else will show up. Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Manchester Victoria. On the other side, over there, is an 802 going to Scarborough. We'll see these two trains go when they depart. The train now departing is a 185 going to Manchester Victoria. Now the wait for this train to depart. Train now departing is a 802 going to Scarborough. Let's see where else will arrive at depart next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 158 going to Wigan Moorgate. Let's see, this train goes where it departs. Train now departing is a 158 going to Wigan Moorgate. As you Wells will arrive at the part next on this station. That was an 802 going to Liverpool Elm Street. Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station. That was an 802 Transbanana Express going to Newcastle. Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station. Next train to arrive is a 1158 going to Leeds. We'll see this train goes where it departs. Train now departing is a 1158 going to Leeds. Let's see what else will arrive the part next on this station. Train now arriving in is 1185 going to Manchester Airport. This train goes where it departs. Train now departing is 1185 going to Manchester Airport. Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Redcar Central. Pulled in a little fast there. We'll see if train goes where it departs. Train now departing is a not double. It is a 185. Can't get my numbers straight. Going to Redcar Central. Let's see what else will arrive at the part next on this station. Train now arriving in is a 185 going to Leeds. This train goes when it departs. We have a train now speeding past. That was a double 185 going to Hull. Now I have to wait for this train to depart. Next train to pull in is a 150. going to Huddersfield. This express train might depart while this train arrives in, so if it does, then this is the last time we'll see this train. We'll wait for this train to depart. Train now departing is a 150 going to Huddersfield. As you will arrive at depart next on this station. Next train to pass by is 185 going to Liverpool. And that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next train travel adventure.